Now, some of you have noticed that today marks the midpoint in our first term, although we prefer to look at it as only a quarter of the way through our administration. This job is a little bit like memory foam. As long as you're sitting on it, you know you are making an impression. 2 years ago, we faced a national recession and the largest drop in revenue in the state's history. We had no choice but to cut funding for schools and other essential services. Today, with an improving economy, we have the beginnings of a reserve fund, and we should work hard to protect it. We are restoring funding for education, not enough to make up for the billion-dollar shortfall that we experienced in the Great Recession, but our steps are in the right direction. When we took office, we said our focus would be on jobs, and we've kept that focus. Our goal then, our goal today, is to make Colorado the best state for entrepreneurship and business. Our economic development blueprint was not a top-down effort. Instead, we engaged more than 8,000 Coloradans in a comprehensive approach to identify and break down barriers to job creation. We expanded this engagement process with TBD Colorado. Coloradans told us that excessive red tape, including unnecessary and duplicative regulations, were holding back job creation. With your help, we've been engaged in a thorough scrub of state rules and procedures. Called Pits and Peeves, we reviewed approximately 7,500 rules, and more than half of these rules will be either repealed or modified. And we're not done. In addition to striking rules and regulations, we are making government work more efficiently. Nothing illustrates the case better than our work with the lean process. A little more than a year ago, we launched lean projects in state agencies. By the end of March, we will have more than 100 lean projects underway, more than any state in the country. One group of state employees engaged in the lean process came to the uncomfortable conclusion that many of the tasks they were performing were not absolutely necessary. Putting their own livelihoods in question, they came forward, and as a result, a process that once took weeks will now take 1 day and will save nearly $2.1 million annually. With so many baby boomers retiring, we're working to find other state positions for these 38 outstanding employees, but their sacrifice was remarkable. Other efficiencies include CDOT changing how it budgets for multi-year transportation projects. This is a better approach that comes with an annual bump of $300 million for 5 years. This program provides a critical boost to the construction industry by directly sustaining or creating an estimated 10,500 jobs. In the next year, we will continue replacing the antiquated unemployment systems through the WYCAN consortium. That's Wyoming, Arizona, or Wyoming, Colorado, Arizona, and North Dakota, for those of you reading from the acronym dictionary. Now, this is a national model for collaboration and the use of technology. Thanks to the support of Colorado employers, this network will replace a 25-year-old system, which means that unemployed Coloradans will get their benefits faster and more quickly return to work. 2 years ago, Colorado was caught in a bygone era with rules and procedures that made more sense back when we used electric typewriters. The state personnel system operated with 19th century rules with none of the modern systems that business uses today to attract and to promote talent. After 11 failed attempts over 40 years, and with the help of former Governors Bill Owens and Bill Ritter, the help of the General Assembly, and in partnership with state employees, Colorado voters passed Amendment S. Finally. We finally brought the state's outdated personnel system into the 21st century. Now, some other amendments passed in November, one on federal campaign finance reform, and another, for the life of me, I can't remember the Oh, that's right, Amendment 64. We now have a task force hard at work considering the legal and policy implications of Amendment 64, and we are determined to implement this new law in a way that promotes the health and safety of all Coloradans. We need to expand our DUI law to keep our highways safe from those driving while impaired, and we must put in place consumer and regulatory safeguards that provide law enforcement with the effective tools to keep marijuana out of the reach of kids. By any objective measure, we have made significant progress in getting Colorado out of this recession. Forbes magazine recently listed Colorado as among the top 5 best states for business. We know that to maintain a business climate that attracts entrepreneurs and world-class businesses, we need to prepare world-class graduates, and we're doing this. Colorado leads the nation in establishing a system to measure teacher effectiveness. Last year, we built on this reform by passing an early childhood literacy program that is among the most innovative in the country. The READ Act identifies struggling readers early and provides interventions so that all children can read by the end of 3rd grade. Last month, Colorado received a $29.9 million Race to the Top grant to support early childhood education and enhance early literacy. Early childhood education is one of the best investments we can make to ensure Colorado's kids are competitive and prepared for the future. It was also a priority we heard about repeatedly in the TBD process. With your support, we will serve up to 6,500 new kindergartners and preschoolers. And we must continue to build the best educator pipeline in the country, attracting the best and brightest people to enter teaching and finding new ways to retain and reward the transformative teachers we have now. It means ensuring that we have a school finance formula that offers equity to all districts and opportunity to all kids. And it means all of us committing to making Colorado the national leader, not just on reform, but on results. Reforming the education system doesn't end at 12th grade. It continues into higher education. This month, we will adopt a need-based financial allocation process. Unique in the nation, it supports Coloradans with the highest needs and incentivizes retention and timely completion. Together with performance contracts, we now have a shared commitment from our colleges and universities to focus on results and completion.